Let's do a week of autumn breakfast ideas, shall we? I love breakfast foods. I love the autumn season, although summer will probably always have my heart. But I'm starting off here this morning with a really fun one. This is dried beef, and I'm gonna take this over to the stove. We'll make a dry beef gravy and then make some fresh milled cornbread waffles to go with it. I'm gonna add some flour and then some milk. And I'm not adding any salt to this because the dried beef actually is quite salty already. Cornbread waffles here. Abby actually helped fresh mill this bread, so we're gonna do 2 cups of that, and then I also have 2 cups of cornmeal that we'll add. Then we'll do 2 cups of milk. This is raw whole milk. 1. Okay, you dumped that one. There, good job. He'll do 2 teaspoons salt and then 7 teaspoons of baking powder, unless he's gonna grab a half a cup of raw honey. 2 eggs. Abby, you can crack those eggs in. Abby. And then we'll do 2/3 cup avocado oil. We can mix that all together. Leslie, you can grab a whisk. This time of the year, I like to add herbs to pretty much everything, and so I thought that would also be fun to add both into our batter, a little bit of herbs, and then also to sprinkle over top later. So that's what I'm going to work on now. We'll quickly chop these up, stir them in, and then our waffle iron is ready to go here. So we'll fry them or cook them on there and then spoon over the beef gravy, and we'll be ready for breakfast. Some leftover bacon grease here to grease my pan or my waffle iron. Add some extra flavor. One of my favorite places for healthier grocery options is definitely Thrive Market. I've talked of them before, and they are sponsoring this portion of today's video. And I'm very excited because they're actually running an incredible sale this week. But if you are new to Thrive, basically they make healthy grocery shopping so easy. So where I live, I have a lot of like Amish produce stands and that kind of thing nearby, but not so many like actual health food stores. And so this is where I love to go for some of those things that I have a bit of a harder time finding right near me. These are the Lily's milk chocolate baking chips. Love these for cookies. I love that you can go on Thrive's website and you can sort things depending on your dietary needs. Paleo or high protein or sugar-free, dairy-free, vegan. They have a ton of options that you can pick from. And then what I actually used in this order, I got their organic apple cider vinegar on there before, and they actually have a little buy it again button that I love to use because there's certain things that I really love to get there, and it just makes it super easy for me to go, select, and check out pretty quickly. Also got some organic ground cinnamon, which we love for especially the fall time baking. I have some organic whole chia seeds, and then I also got a couple of snack foods. Now, these are their organic veggie straws, and I love that they don't have seed oils in them. And their sale this week actually includes a lot of snacks, so a great time to stock up on that. Snacks for on the go, for these fall picnics, for school lunches. So if you would like to check out Thrive, go to thrivemarket.com/thisgoldenhour60, and that will give you $20 off your first 3 orders and a free gift worth up to $60. So I hope that helps you out. Okay, we'll pack these away, and then let's move on with making some more breakfast. Okay, moving along to one of our very favorites for a quick, easy breakfast, and that is homemade granola with homemade Greek yogurt. We have been out of granola for a couple of days now. I usually store it in one of these big gallon storage jars, and I cannot seem to keep this stuff on hand. All of us love it for breakfast or even for a snack before the kids and Josh head out to the barn. It is such a favorite around here, so I'm excited to share it. Now, this recipe is naturally already a maple recipe because we put maple syrup in it, as well as cinnamon. So in my opinion, like, this totally qualifies as fall, but you could easily also add some pumpkin puree if you want more of a pumpkin flavor. Dried cranberries can be really delicious and also even enhance that fall flavor a little bit. But I'm gonna make a double recipe here today. I'll leave just the single recipe for you in the description box, since that's probably a little bit more the right ratios for what you might need. I am gonna start off with 12 cups of rolled oats. Now, I already have my stove started preheating here to 350 degrees. Leslie is cutting up some butter for me, so we're gonna do half a cup of butter. That's gonna start melting there as well. I use nuts kind of depending what I have on hand. Today I have 2 cups of slivered almonds, and then I also have 2 cups here of this pumpkin and sunflower mix. So these are actually sprouted and raw, which is awesome. I'm gonna add some health benefits there as well, but these do have a bit of salt. So normally I would also add a pinch of salt. Today I'm not going to. So we'll just dump both of these in here. And then I have the other like wet ingredients all measured out here. So I have a cup of coconut oil that we're also gonna add to the butter so that it softens and melts. And then I have a cup of raw honey, and that I'm just gonna add directly to this, as well as a cup of maple syrup. Then I'm gonna grab a tablespoon here of this organic ground cinnamon that we just unboxed from Thrive, and we're gonna add that, as well as a tablespoon of vanilla. If I can get that much out, I'm just about out. All right, so once our butter and coconut oil are melted, we're just gonna stir that in here, mix it all together, throw it on a baking sheet, and bake it. Now, I usually pop this in the oven then at 300 degrees for about 45 minutes, and I don't stir it in between. Doing that gets you that nice, like, kind of clumpy granola, which I personally really love. So Starting on our breakfast casserole, fun fact, this year was our first time ever growing sweet potatoes, and unfortunately, Peter Rabbit and his family seem to have found our garden and are making burrows all over the place. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but they also found our sweet potatoes. So they have a big burrow going right by them, so I did end up having to cut a lot of the ends off of these, but it looks like the rest of these, like they just ate off one half or whatever. So I'm gonna peel these, we're gonna cut them up, and we'll still enjoy the rest of them. But that is what we're dealing with in the garden these days. So I'm gonna peel these, we're gonna cube them, and then I'm just gonna roast them like you would make hash browns or something like that. And then we're gonna drizzle it with a bit of avocado oil, as well as some salt, pepper, some garlic powder, and some parsley. And then I'll roast these at 500 for about 20 minutes or just till they look crispy. While our potatoes roast, let's move on to the hollandaise sauce. Now, not long ago, I showed on here how I make the hollandaise sauce. It is the recipe from Downshiftology. It's so delicious. Highly recommend checking it out, but I won't do a step-by-step on here today because I literally just did one. But I have my butter melting back here, and I am separating my eggs, and we'll throw 6 egg yolks. I'm gonna do the recipe double into the blender and whip that up. And then we do also want to scramble some eggs, but I like to kind of do that last so that the eggs aren't cold. Okay, the eggs are like soft done now, so I'm gonna actually add a little bit of cottage cheese. This makes the fluffiest eggs and adds an extra punch of protein. So we'll mix that in, and then we'll be ready to assemble. Yeah, you can mix it. Okay, and then we're all ready to put it together. We're getting hungry. I used to always add meat to this as well, but personally, I think I actually prefer it without the meat just because it's already kind of heavier with the hollandaise sauce and all of that. So I love it this way. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah, it is hot. I think this could also be really good with some more like roasted veggies, maybe some zucchini, things like that. But this is how we've been enjoying it recently. And then finally we'll top it with the hollandaise sauce. And a little sprinkle of herbs, and we'll be ready to eat up. I ended up actually tripling this hollandaise sauce, so we have plenty, but I don't like them dry, so. This morning we have another super easy recipe, but with a fun little festive flair. So last night I mixed up a big batch of chia pudding here, and I thought it would be fun to do that with some caramelized apples. We'll do a little crumble topping and maybe top it with some Greek yogurt. So first up, I'm gonna start by just dicing the apples, and then I'll saute them with some maple syrup and cinnamon, and maybe a little bit of butter. Does that sound yummy?
Nah.
Yeah? My goodness, those apples smell so delicious. But we're gonna move on to our crumb topping. Now this could totally be made the day ahead and this whole thing would come together so quickly in the morning. But I'm gonna start off here with a 1.5 cups of rolled oats. I'll do about a 3/4 cup of these slivered almonds. Really, any nuts I feel like would be good. Walnuts would be good. Pecans could be really good. But I have these slivered almonds today, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I have 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. We'll do a little pinch of salt, and then I'm gonna go for about 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. All right, we'll mix that all together and then spread it into a cookie sheet and just bake till it's golden brown. Actually, one more thing I'm gonna add, a little bit of vanilla. That would be tasty in here. I'd say about a teaspoon. So he doesn't keep blowing up. You blew it out again. William has discovered the joys of blowing out my candle. I know, that's the second time. Should we light it again? Okay, now for the fun part of plating it. So I have some homemade Greek yogurt here. I'm gonna put, you're welcome. I'm gonna put some of that in the bottom of my little cups, and then we'll top it with all the rest of our stuff, and hopefully the kids will love it. Are you excited for this?
Golden things.